right?
Yeah.
And again, back then, now we're in the mid 2000s. So Hollywood was not Hollywood today. So the racism was pretty blatant and
Yeah.
pretty shocking when I look back. But back then it was so normal.
Yeah.
You would just listen to these horrible things being said to you, and you were like, okay. So
You
I
accepted it.
constantly was told like, hey Jorge, when for example, like when you talk to blah blah blah, can you not say your amount? Just don't bring that.
Hmm.
Hey, when you talk to blah 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 blah, can you like all the Spanish words try to anglicize them so you don't make people uncomfortable? So stuff like that,
Ah,
right? And people
right.
would say that to you and not
Yeah.
blink. It was just normal.
Yeah.
And then eventually, as time went by, it was like as people started getting called on stuff like this, then people
Yeah.
started getting a little more sensitive and a little more aware. But I feel like the racism then became almost hidden from you.
It was covert.
It was
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
very covert. And it was awfully convenient. And they would
Yeah.
keep saying it was, oh, how unlucky. How unlucky that the minority shows didn't get picked up. Hey, but we put those in development. It was almost like you could hear them patting themselves on the back. But none of the minority stuff had a real shot,
Yeah.
right? Because
We're
you
like, oh,
would,
we tested it in this, we
right.
tested it in this room of 10 people.
Yep. Like, hey, everybody, all the bosses saw your thing. We all got together. We all watched it, and none of us could relate. And you look in the room, and it's like, 14 white men, and it's like, well, I don't relate either to you guys. And I remember being in a meeting where they said, your main character is so ethnic. It's hard for a lot of us to relate.
Mm.
And it's like, well, I'm ethnic and I can relate to white characters, and my whole life I've had to relate to white characters. I've never had that issue. I didn't watch Star Wars and go, oh man, all white people. Guess I'm out.
Can't relate
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
hero's journeys.
yeah.
Right?
Luke can't do it. Can't.
Can't do
He's
it.
blonde. Sorry guys, I'm out.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
exactly.
And then we had shows like we had a show at Disney Development called Carmen Gets Expelled. By the way, all the people are no longer there, so I can tell these stories. But we had a show called Carmen Gets Expelled, and it was about a bad, rebellious, punk Latina girl in a super privileged, rich school who, if she got kicked out of the school, she would be sent to juvie. That was basically the
Uh-huh.
premise. And so she kept breaking the rules for good because the theme of the show was if you're going to get in trouble for good reasons, right?
Right.
So we do this show, we do this pilot, it tested really well. We go into this room and they're like, we're going to pick up the show. Everybody's really excited. And they're like, but we have two changes. So your show called Carmen Gets Expelled, we need it to not be about, again, it's 2009. The show can't be about a Latina girl. What?
Hmm.
Dang. Obama was president. Come on now.
And it was like, wait, she can't be a Latina girl? Yes. And she can't be a rebellious girl. I'm like, hold on. So you're telling me our show about a rebellious Latina girl that just tested really well is getting picked up for series, but in order to go to series, she can't be Latina or rebellious? Yes. Are you saying you want her to be like a good white girl? Yes. Isn't that every Disney show?
Right.
Exactly. So we said no. And they're like, what do you mean no? They're like, we're not doing it. Well, then we're not doing the show. Yeah. Then we're good.
We're good, yeah.
And so we're always the people who go, we're not doing that. And that's the most powerful word in Hollywood. No.
No.
Hmm.
And every time we say no, it's super weird because it's like getting fired or quitting. If you quit a job, you're very attractive to the competition. If you get fired, people go, what's wrong with them?
What's wrong with you?
Right. Right.
So when we go, you picked up our show, but we don't want to do it because of the changes you make, then the other studio and the other executives go, oh, those guys are different. We got to make sure if we work with them, we don't do stuff like that. You're setting a precedent.